Jai Shri Guru Gaurachandra Ji Ki Jai. Jai Saparika Shri Guru Gaurachandra Ji Ki Jai. Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ji Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribhajakaacharya Astaterasita Shri Śrīman Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribhajakaacharya Astaterasita Shri Śrīman Śrīla Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai. Welcome to Śrī Caitanya Saraswat Mission Morning Class. Dandavad. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Chita Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitangstam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitangscha Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Dena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Caitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Svapadantikam. Haribo. What special day today? Today is the disappearance day of Haridās Ṭhākur. Very, 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 very significant day for us. So, reading Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, we will read that chapter again. Actually, we just read it very recently, but we can never hear these pastimes often enough. So here, it's in the same volume. And here it is. This is the chapter number 11 of the Antya-lila, the first volume of Antya-lila, the passing of Haridās Ṭhākur. Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jai Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Ki Jai Śrīla Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. All right. So we're going to go, we'll just read through, hopefully we can read the entire chapter today. Maybe I will read only the English. But we will begin with Nāmācārya Dasam Tam Chaitanyam Tam Chaitat Prabhum Samstitam Apiyan Murting Svanke Krutva Ninartaja. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Haridās Ṭhākur and his master Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, who danced with the body of Haridās Ṭhākur on his lap. Doesn't mean on his lap the way we mean it. It's just holding them. Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya Jaya Doya Moy Jaya Dvaita Priya Nityananda Priya Jai. All glories to Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, who is very merciful and who is very dear to Advaita, Acharya and Lord Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Srinivaseshvara Haridasanath Jaya Gadadhara Priya Swarupa Prananath. All glories to the master of Srinivas Thakur. All glories to the master of Haridās Ṭhākur. All glories to the dear master of Gadadhar Pandit. All glories to the master of the life of Swarup Damodar. Oh. So many beautiful invocations. All glories to Lord Śrī Caitanya, who is very dear to Kashi Mishra. He is the Lord of the life of Jagannāth and the Lord of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami. All glories to the transcendental form of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, who is Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My dear Lord, kindly give me shelter at your lotus feet by your causeless mercy. All glories to Lord Nityananda, who is the life and soul of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. My dear Lord, kindly give me engagement in devotional service at your lotus feet. We're always praying to Nityananda Prabhu. We are approaching the mercy of Mahaprabhu through Nityananda Prabhu, and he is so merciful. As we know, we're reading those beautiful songs all the time about Nityananda Prabhu and hearing his pastimes in Chaitanya-caritāmṛta. All glories to Advaita Acharya, who is treated by Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu as superior due to his age and respectability. Please give me engagement in devotional service at your lotus feet. All glories to the devotees of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. For the Lord is their life and soul. All of you kindly bestow devotional service upon me. All glories to Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Gopal Bhatta Goswami, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. They are all my masters. So it's Haridās Ṭhākur's disappearance. So I'm going through the whole chapter, but reading only the English, which really kind of makes me sad, but otherwise we won't be able to read it through. I am writing this narration of the pastimes and attributes of the Lord by the mercy of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and his associates. I do not know how to write properly, but I am purifying myself by writing this description. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu thus resided at Jagannāth Purī with his personal devotees and enjoyed the congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Where did Mahaprabhu reside? We just read it in this verse. Come on, wake up. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu thus resided at Jagannāth Purī with his personal devotees and enjoyed the congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Where did Mahaprabhu reside?
Purī.
Yes, very good. Okay, I'm going to be doing this all through this class. I can feel the little snoozy brain, so little flat lines. In the daytime, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu engaged in dancing and chanting and in seeing the temple of Lord Jagannāth. At night, in the company of his most confidential devotees, such as Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar Goswami, he tasted the nectar of the transcendental mellows of Lord Sri Krishna's pastime. So in the daytime, Mahaprabhu is out in the public, though not really so much interacting with the public as he did before. But in the nighttime, with his most confidential devotees, he is tasting the mellows of Krishna's pastimes. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu very happily passed his days in this way at Nīlachal, Jagannāth Purī. Feeling separation from Krishna, he exhibited many transcendental symptoms all over his body. Day and night the symptoms increased, and at night they increased even more. All these symptoms, such as transcendental anxiety, agitation, and talking like a madman, were present just as they are described in the Shastras. But no one can imitate that. No one can imitate those kind of symptoms. You couldn't possibly. Not possible. Swarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Rai, the chief assistants in Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu's pastimes, remained with him both day and night. Who? Ramananda Rai and who remained with him day and night?
His chief assistant.
Okay, I'm going to read this again. You guys are really, what in the world? Swarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Rai, the chief assistants in Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu's pastimes, remained with him both day and night. Who?
Ramananda Rai and
Yes, Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar, who in Krishna Lila are?
Chief assistant.
Pardon?
The chief associate, is that what you said?
Yeah, who are they in Krishna Lila?
Oh.
You don't know? Wow. We've talked about this so many times. Swarup Damodar is Lalita Saki and Ramananda Rai is Vishaka Saki, the dearest friends of Radharani. And they have come with Mahaprabhu to assist in that pastime of Krishna experiencing the divine nature of Radharani and all those other things. And they've come to assist him in ways that are inconceivable to us. So who? I got to ask a lot more questions during the class, don't I? So, who are Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai in Krishna Lila?
Swarup Damodar is Lalita.
Yes, and?
Vishaka.
And Ramananda Rai is? Vishaka Devi. So, in the evenings, both day and night, they are with Mahaprabhu. But in the evening, specifically in these very internal pastimes of the Lord. One day, don't forget I'm going to be asking you, one day Govinda, the personal servant of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, went in great jubilation to deliver the remnants of Lord Jagannāth's food to Haridās Ṭhākur. Where did he go? Where did Govinda go?
To deliver food.
To?
Haridās Ṭhākur.
Yeah. Because Haridās Ṭhākur would not go to the temple. So because he was ostensibly, or raised at least, in a Muslim family, and so he wasn't allowed, and he didn't try to go. In fact, he felt himself completely disqualified. And we are also not allowed to go into the Jagannath temple. And sometimes the devotees would egotistically try to force themselves in. That was never approved of by our gurus.
When I was traveling in India, one of the devotees I was traveling with, she tried to bribe our way into the temple.
Good grief.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what's going to happen now. Govinda Prabhu, who is the personal servant of Mahaprabhu, he came to Haridās. He saw, what did he see? He saw that Haridās Ṭhākur was lying on his back and chanting his rounds very slowly. Please rise and take your Mahaprasadam, Govinda said. Haridās replied, today I shall observe fasting. So what did Govinda say to him? To Haridās Ṭhākur?
Take your prasadam.
So please rise and take your Mahaprasadam. So Haridās said, no, today I'm going to fast. I have not finished chanting my regular number of rounds. How then can I eat? So this is the acharya of chanting the holy name. But you have brought Mahaprasadam, and how can I neglect it? So he's feeling. Saying this, he offered prayers to the Mahaprasadam and took a little portion and ate it. The next day, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu went to Haridas's place and inquired from him, Haridas, are you well? Who went? Mahaprabhu went to see Haridās Ṭhākur and said, are you well, Haridas? Haridas offered his obeisances to the Lord and replied, my body is all right, but my mind and intelligence are not well. What did he say?
My body is all right, but my mind and intelligence is not well.
Right. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu further inquired from Haridas, can you ascertain what your disease is? And Haridās Ṭhākur replied, my disease is that I cannot complete my rounds. So how many rounds? He chanted, what was the number? 100,000 names of Krishna a day? No, that can't be right. What is it? I forget. Anyway, he chanted so much. Always chanting. Prabhu, now that you've become old, the Lord said, you may reduce the number of rounds you chant daily. You are already liberated, and therefore you do not need to follow the regulated principles very strictly. Your role in this incarnation is to deliver the people in general. You have sufficiently preached the glories of the holy name in this world. And of course the glories of Haridās Ṭhākur are oceanic. So what is Mahaprabhu saying?
You should, take it easy.
Not exactly.
He's already liberated. And his
not take it easy. He's just saying. The regulated principles of practice are not so important for you. You're showing the world how to chant the holy name properly and how to live such a life. But it is not necessary for you to continue with that. Now you're old. You reduce your number. The Lord concluded, now therefore please reduce the fixed number of times you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Haridās Ṭhākur replied, kindly hear my real plea. And so what is Haridas saying? He said, please now hear my plea means I'm going to ask you something. Now hear. I was born in an inferior family and my body is most abominable. I always engage in low work. Therefore I am the lowest, most condemned of men. This is Haridās Ṭhākur speaking. I am unseeable and untouchable, but you have accepted me as your servant. This means you have delivered me from a hellish condition and raised me to the Vaikuntha platform. My dear Lord, you are the fully independent personality of Godhead. You act by your own free will. You cause the whole world to dance and act as you like. So everything is you're independent and you are the cause of everything. You cause the whole world to dance and act as you like.
Haridas is Lord Brahma?
Haridas is not Lord Brahma, but Lord Brahma in this time of Mahaprabhu's appearance joined with Haridās Ṭhākur. And this happens. At Srila Guru Maharaj, I have 2 classes where he speaks about this, where he's saying that sometimes someone else is also there with the main personality. And Haridās Ṭhākur is always coming with Mahaprabhu, but this time Brahma joined him. So you can say he's... Well, they're 2 separate persons, but joined in the same... joined with him. Just like you may do a job and someone might join you, you're still doing that job, and that person is there with you.
But Haridās Ṭhākur then is a eternal associate of Mahaprabhu?
Yeah.
But he's saying, that I'm coming from this abominable life.
That's just his pastime.
But does he know who he is, basically? Like, is he aware of, like...
Are you aware of who he is?
Well, no.
This is the nature of a Vaishnava. We see it with all the Vaishnavas. They're not thinking they have any qualification whatsoever. Never. They never think it. And even Mahaprabhu is saying like that. This is the nature of devotion. My dear Lord, by your mercy you have made me dance in many ways. For example, I was offered the Shraddha-patra, which should have been offered to the first-class Brahmins, and I ate from it, even though I was born in a family of meat-eaters. I have had one desire for a very long time, and we're going to hear that desire now. Ready? I think that quite soon, my Lord, you will bring to a close your pastimes within this material world. I think that you are going to be leaving. Haridas is saying, I wish that you not show me this closing chapter of your pastimes. Before that time comes, kindly let my body fall down in your presence. I wish to catch your lotus-like feet upon my heart and see your moonlight face. So Haridas Thakur is saying, before you leave this world, before you close your pastimes here, I want to go. I want to go first. With my tongue I shall chant your holy name, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. That is my desire. Kindly let me give up my body in this way. O most merciful Lord, if by your mercy it is possible, kindly grant my desire. Let this low-born body fall down before you. You can make possible this perfection of all my desires. So this is a very intense, divine feeling of Haridas Thakur. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu said, my dear Haridas, Krishna is so merciful that he must execute whatever you want. But whatever happiness is mine is all due to your association. Who's saying that?
Śrīla Haridās Ṭhākur.
Mahaprabhu is saying this to Haridas Thakur. So Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu said, my dear Haridas, Krishna is so merciful that he must execute whatever you want. But whatever happiness is mine, Mahaprabhu is saying, is all due to your association. It is not fitting for you to go away and leave me behind.
Was that Haridas Thakur's response?
No, that's what Mahaprabhu is saying. Yeah, Mahaprabhu is saying this. Catching the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, Haridas Thakur said, my Lord, do not create an illusion. Although I am so fallen, you must certainly show me this mercy. So he's saying, don't create an illusion, don't avoid this. My Lord, there are many respectable personalities, millions of devotees who are fit to sit on my head. They are all helpful in your pastimes. My Lord, if an insignificant insect like me dies, what is the loss? If an ant dies, where is the loss to this material world? Saying, my Lord, you're saying I'm nothing, I'm so insignificant like an ant. And there are so many millions of devotees who are worthy to sit on my head. Certainly I'm of no significance. My Lord, you are always affectionate to your devotees. I am just an imitation devotee. But nevertheless, I wish that you fulfill my desire. That is my expectation. Any questions about that? Because he had to perform his noon duty, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu got up to leave, but it was all settled that the following day, after he saw Lord Jagannāth, he would return to visit Haridās Ṭhākur. So, as Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, he reasons ill, means he's not thinking properly, who says that Vaishnavas die. So it was all arranged. Tomorrow Haridās Ṭhākur would leave his body. And in this inconceivably glorious way, it became a festival. Because there's nothing dark in the disappearance of the Vaishnava. For the devotees who are behind, there is great sadness. But it is a celebration. They're going or they're coming. All of it is all divine and wonderful. So it is astonishing. It's an astonishing pastime. So it was arranged like Bhishma Day on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. I mean, something like this, but a little different. After embracing him, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu left to perform his noon duties and then went to the sea to take his bath. The next morning, after visiting the Jagannāth temple, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, accompanied by all his devotees, went hastily to see Haridās Ṭhākur. Everybody catching all that now? What did he do the next morning? Mahaprabhu?
He went to see Haridās with the devotees.
Yeah. After seeing Jagannāth, Lord Jagannāth, they quickly went. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and the devotees came before Haridās Ṭhākur, who offered his respects to the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and all the Vaishnavas. Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu inquired, "My dear Haridās, what is the news?" This is a very common way that people greet each other in India. What's the news? Haridās Ṭhākur replied, "My Lord, whatever mercy you can bestow upon me, that's the news." What is the real news for the devotee? Whatever mercy is coming, that's the news. Okay, upon hearing this, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu immediately began great congregational chanting in the courtyard. Bhakreshwar Pandit was the chief dancer. So, the dancing of this world and the dancing of Bhakreshwar Pandit can never ever be compared. Bhakreshwar Pandit's dancing was complete expression of divine love, of the kind that Mahaprabhu is distributing. So this, not that goofy dancing of this plane, never. Headed by Swarup Damodar Goswami, all the devotees of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu surrounded Haridās Ṭhākur and began the congregational chanting. In front of all the great devotees like Ramananda Rai, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu began to describe the holy attributes of Haridās Ṭhākur. So we are going to begin to hear that. Well, we don't have so many details here. That is in the previous chapter, or one of the previous chapters, the glories of Haridās Ṭhākur. It's a big chapter and beautiful. So, in front of all the great devotees like Ramananda Rai and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and that's significant. You don't they are also hearing and feeling greatly nourished to hear about Haridās Ṭhākur's glories. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu began to describe the holy attributes of Haridās Ṭhākur. As he described the transcendental attributes of Haridās Ṭhākur, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu seemed to possess 5 mouths. The more he described, the more his happiness increased. Mahaprabhu, as he's describing the glories of Haridās Ṭhākur, his happiness is increasing and increasing. After hearing of the transcendental qualities of Haridās Ṭhākur, all the devotees present were struck with wonder. They all offered their respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of Haridās Ṭhākur. Who was struck with wonder?
All the devotees.
Yes. Haridās Ṭhākur made Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu sit down in front of him. Made means he arranged that. And then he fixed his eyes like two bumblebees. Haridās Ṭhākur made Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu sit down in front of him. And then he fixed his eyes like two bumblebees on the lotus face of the Lord. What are the eyes of Haridās Ṭhākur compared to? Bumblebees on the lotus face of the Lord. He held the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu on his heart, and then took the dust of the feet of all the devotees present and put it on his head. He then began to chant the holy name of Śrī Krishna Chaitanya again and again. As he drank the sweetness of the face of the Lord, tears constantly glided down from his eyes. What happened as he was drinking the sweetness of the face of the Lord?
He started crying.
Tears are gliding down his eyes. While chanting the holy name of Śrī Krishna Chaitanya, he gave up his air of life and left his body. Seeing the wonderful death of Haridās Ṭhākur by his own will, which was just like a great mystic yogi's, everyone remembered the passing away of Bhishma, who was similarly lying down on a bed of arrows, with arrows for his pillow also. He was speaking to Yudhisthira, and then he looked at the lotus face of Krishna and began to meditate. Because he also had the benediction from his father, Shantanu, that he would choose his time of leaving his body. There's never any disturbance to a Vaishnava, a real Vaishnava, when they leave their body. There's no disturbance at all. It's just, okay. There is a tumultuous noise as they all chanted the holy names, Hari and Krishna. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu became overwhelmed with ecstatic love. The Lord raised the body of Haridās Ṭhākur and placed it on his lap. So when we say on someone's lap, it means they're sitting down, and someone, like a child, is sitting on the knees of the Lord, of the person. But this is placing it on his front, carrying, in other words. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu became overwhelmed with ecstatic love. And he then began to dance in the courtyard in great ecstatic love, holding the divine form of Haridās Ṭhākur. Because of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu's ecstatic love, all the devotees were helpless, and in ecstatic love they also began to dance and chant congregationally. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu danced for some time, and then Swarup Damodar Goswami informed him of other rituals for the body of Thakur Haridās. Some things had to be done. And so Swarup Damodar is always there. Oh, now, my Lord, we will do these things. The body of Haridās Ṭhākur was then raised onto a carrier that resembled an airship and taken to the sea, accompanied by congregational chanting. So these airships are described in the Bhagavatam. These are divine things, Sometimes in the heavenly planet, they're very mystical and fine. They don't have gross bodies like that. They have conveyances. But even in the transcendental plane, there are divine conveyances. So it resembled one of those as they took the divine body of Haridās Ṭhākur to the sea. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu danced in front of the procession, and Vakreshwar Pandit, along with the other devotees, chanted and danced behind him. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu danced in front of the procession, and Vakreshwar Pandit, along with the other devotees, chanted and danced behind him. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu bathed the body of Haridās Ṭhākur in the sea, and there declared, "From this day on, this sea has become a great pilgrimage site." Everyone drank the water that had touched the lotus feet of Haridās Ṭhākur. What did they do?
Drink the water, not touch the feet of Haridās Ṭhākur.
Very good. And then they smeared the remnants of Lord Jagannāth's sandalwood pulp over Haridās Ṭhākur's body. After a hole was dug in the sand, the body of Haridās Ṭhākur was placed into it, and then remnants from Lord Jagannāth, such as his silken ropes, sandalwood pulp, food and cloth, were placed on the body. All around the body, the devotees performed congregational chanting, and Vakreshwar Pandit danced in jubilation. All around the bodies, the devotees did what? Performed congregational chanting, and Vakreshwar Pandit danced in jubilation. With his transcendental hands, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu personally covered the body of Haridās Ṭhākur with sand, chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol. The devotees covered the body of Haridās Ṭhākur with sand and then constructed a platform upon the site. The platform was protected all around by fencing. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu danced and chanted all around the platform, and as the holy name of Hari roared tumultuously, the whole universe became filled with the vibration. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu danced and chanted all around that platform that was built upon the divine body of Haridās, and as the holy name Hari roared tumultuously, the whole universe became filled with that vibration. After Sankirtan, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu bathed in the sea with his devotees, swimming and playing in the water in great jubilation. After circumambulating the tomb of Haridās Ṭhākur, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu went to the Singhadwar gate of Jagannāth temple. The whole city chanted in congregation, the whole city of Purī chanted in congregation, and a tumultuous sound vibrated all over the city. Approaching the Singhadwar gate, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu spread his cloth. This means like this. This uttarya, he spread it out. He spread it out, holding it like that, and began to beg prasadam from all the shopkeepers there. "I am begging prasadam for a festival, honoring the passing away of Haridās Ṭhākur." By the way, this is a very nice day to cook really lovely prasadam and offer it to the Lord in remembrance of the passing of Haridās Ṭhākur. The Lord said, "Please give me alms." Hearing this, all the shopkeepers immediately came forward with big baskets of prasadam, which they jubilantly delivered to Lord Chaitanya. However, Swarup Damodar stopped them, and the shopkeepers returned to their shops and sat down with their baskets. So Swami Damodar said, no, just go back. Because Swami Damodar has to make this proper arrangement. Swami Damodar sent Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu back to his residence and kept with him 4 Vaishnavas and 4 servant carriers. Not that Mahaprabhu would be receiving all this and be carrying it. Swami Damodar said to all the shopkeepers, deliver to me 4 palmfuls of prasadam from each and every item. And in this way, varieties of prasadam were collected and then packed up in different loads and carried on the heads of the 4 servants. Not only did Swarup Damodar Goswami bring prasadam, but Vaninath, Patanayaka and Kashi Mishra also sent large quantities from the temple. So everybody following all this? So Swarup Damodar said, no, you go take Mahaprabhu back to his, I will arrange all this with 4 Vaishnavas, 4 strong carriers. We've seen in India how much they can carry on their heads. Unbelievable. And so all this is arranged. Plus Vaninath and Kashi Mishra also sent so much prasadam from the Jagannāth temple. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu made all the devotees sit in rows and personally began to distribute the prasadam, assisted by 4 other men. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu was not accustomed to taking prasadam in small quantities. He therefore put on each plate what at least 5 men could eat. So each plate was full so high, it would take 5 men to eat, but everyone was given this much. Swarup Damodar Goswami requested Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, please sit down and watch. With these men to help me, I shall distribute the prasadam. Swarup Damodar is always like, you sit down, Mahaprabhu, you can watch all this fun, all this, and you watch us, and we're going to distribute this. The 4 men, Swarup Damodar, Jagannāth, Kashishwar, and Shankar, distributed the prasadam continuously. Everybody follow that sequence of events? Then Mahaprabhu is distributing, Swarup Damodar, oh, you sit down and watch. We're going to distribute that. All the devotees who sat down would not eat the prasadam as long as the Lord had not eaten. On that day, however, Kashi Mishra had extended an invitation to the Lord. So, previous to this event of Haridās Ṭhākur's leaving, Kashi Mishra had already invited Lord Chaitanya to take his lunch at his house. Therefore, Kashi Mishra personally went there and delivered prasadam to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu with great attention and made him eat. So Mahaprabhu was sitting there and Kashi Mishra fed him there. With Paramananda Purī and Brahmananda Bharati, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu sat down and accepted the prasadam, and when he began to eat, so did all the Vaishnavas. So far so good? Everyone was filled up to the neck because Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu kept telling the distributors, give them more, give them more. Gurudev was always like that. In the earlier days, when Gurudev used to sit down with all the devotees in the big hall every day, he'd sit down with us, right? But the whole time he's eating, he's watching. Hey, he has no rice. Give this more. He's watching all the devotees and yelling at the servers. And the servers are running. And, what? Jagannāth, he has no dal. Give more dal. And he's always, Gurudev would do that. And it was like a festival every single time. And so Mahaprabhu, give more, give more. After all the devotees finished accepting prasadam and had washed their hands and mouths, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu decorated each of them with a flower garland and sandalwood pulp. Haribo. Overwhelmed with ecstatic love, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu offered a benediction to all the devotees. Let's listen to this benediction, which all the devotees heard with great satisfaction. Can you hear in the kitchen? This is that benediction. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu gave this benediction. Anyone who has seen the festival of Śrī Haridās Ṭhākur's passing away, anyone who has chanted and danced here, anyone who has offered sand on the body of Haridās Ṭhākur, and anyone who has joined this festival to partake of the Prasādam will achieve the favor of Krishna very soon. There is such wonderful power in seeing Haridās Ṭhākur. Being merciful upon me, the Lord is continuing, Krishna gave me the association of Haridās Ṭhākur. This is not an exaggeration. The Lord really feels this. And we're hearing about this so much. Being independent in His desires, meaning the Lord, He has now broken that association. The Lord gave me that association, and now the Lord has broken that because He is independent. When Haridās Ṭhākur wanted to leave this material world, it was not within my power to detain him. Simply by his will, Haridās Ṭhākur could give up his life and go away, exactly like Bhishma, who previously died simply because of his own desire, as we have heard from the Shastra. Haridās Ṭhākur was the crown jewel on the head of this world. Without him, the world is now bereft of its valuable jewel. Jai Shri Guru Gaurachandra Giraju Ki Jai. Now Gaurachandra is speaking. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu then told everyone, say all glories to Haridās Ṭhākur. So, all glories to Haridās Ṭhākur. And chant the holy name of Hari. Saying this, he personally began to dance. Everyone began to chant, all glories to Haridās Ṭhākur, who revealed the importance of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Not something we're trying to, I got to chant my rounds, But we want to keep chanting always. We are now being blown around by the wind coming from the mental world. But we should let our sails be only blown by the holy name and the inspiration of the holy name. Thereafter, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu bade farewell to all the devotees, and he himself, with mixed feelings of happiness and distress, took rest. Thus I have spoken about the victorious passing away of Haridās Ṭhākur. And listen to the benediction now being given by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj. Anyone who hears this narration will certainly fix his mind firmly in devotional service to Krishna. From the incident of Haridās Ṭhākur's passing away and the great care Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu took in commemorating it, one can understand just how affectionate he is towards his devotees. Although he is the topmost of all sannyasis, he fully satisfies the desire of Haridās Ṭhākur. When Haridās Ṭhākur was at the last stage of his life, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu gave him his company and allowed him to touch him. Thereafter he took the body of Thakur Haridās on his lap and personally danced with it. Out of His causeless mercy, the Lord personally covered the body of Haridās Ṭhākur with sand and personally begged alms from the shopkeepers. Then He conducted a great festival to celebrate the passing away of Haridās Ṭhākur. Haridās Ṭhākur was not only the topmost devotee of the Lord, but also a great and learned scholar. It was his great fortune that he passed away before Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. The life and characteristics of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu are exactly like an ocean of nectar, one drop of which can please the mind and ear. Anyone who desires to cross over the ocean of nescience, please hear with great faith the life and characteristics of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Praying at the lotus feet of Śrī Rupa and Śrī Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Kṛṣṇānanda, narrate Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, following in their footsteps. Thus send the Bhaktivedanta purports to Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Antya-lila, 11th chapter, describing the passing of Haridās Ṭhākur. How wonderful. So anyone want to ask any question? Or let's get the songbooks and we can chant the disappearance kīrtans.
Is there any connection between Haridās Ṭhākur and Krishna, other than that they both chose the time of death?
I mean, I don't know. But it was putting everyone, reminding. But that's a little different.
But that's what the Lord was referring to.
But I find it so wonderful that all of Bhishma Dev was engaged in Dwarka Lila. This is not the Lila that Mahaprabhu was coming to distribute, but this is also super wonderful that in the Navadvip Dham Mahatmya, or Bhavatarangi maybe, that Bhishma is there. And I found that so lovely, so lovely. Okay, so here, what page? Bāro, Karuṇā.
Is that the first one?
Yeah. Bāro. Okay, 158. Okay, 157. I'll wait. Dead man walking. I really like that expression. Any body that is not decorated with tilak, any person who does not have tilak on his body in 12 places is a dead man walking.
What if we only have it in one place?
Why only one place?
Or 1/10 of a dead person walking.
Yeah.
Why only one place?
The forehead?
But why only the forehead?
Exactly. Why? Why only the forehead?
Yeah.
Where's the dedication to the rest?
Really, we don't want to be in this body that's not decorated with Krishna's names. This body is the And when we leave our bodies, we should think of this passing of Haridās Ṭhākur. And what will be the difference? I mean, obviously, Haridās Ṭhākur is Haridās Ṭhākur. But at the same time, we should meditate on that. Where am I going? It's just a problem that everyone's trying to forget all day, every day. It's a problem or not a problem. Guru Maharaj said, for some, death is like heaven. Heaven just as an analogy, not as literal heaven. But it's like wonderful, wonderful event. So we should think about these things.
Something to look forward to.
That's right. It's like we don't know where we're going. And if today is the moment, is the day of our...
Yes.
When we leave our body, where
Right.
are we going?
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
Jay Anilo Prema-dhana Karuṇā prachur. Jay Anilo Prema-dhana
Karuṇā prachur.
Hano Prabhu Kota Gela Acharya personality who delivered the treasure of prema bhakti, who is so intense with compassion. Where is such a personality to be found as Śrī Acharya Ṭhākur, Śrīnivāsācārya? Where are the saviors of the fallen souls? Where is my Swarup Damodar? And where are Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami? Where is Raghunath Das to be found? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta Goswamis? Where am I to find Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj now? All at once they have gone to join Lord Gauranga, the great dancer. To reach such a perfect personality as Lord Chaitanya, I can only break my head against the stone in the anguish of separation. They have all gone off together in their own pastimes. Narottam Das Thakur says, unable to obtain their association, I must simply weep. So this is the very strong feelings of separation, which is an inconceivably deep connection, actually, as we are hearing. So let's chant Ebara Karuna Kara Vaishnava Gosai on 158, and then, okay. Kṛṣṇānanda Prabhu, do you know the tune of can you sing this one? It's the same tune.
Okay. Evara Karuna Kara Vaishnava Gosai.
Evara Karuna Kara Vaishnava Gosai.
Patita Pavana Toma Vineke Hanai.
Patita Pavana Toma Vineke
Maharani Bhate Ge Papa
Vaishnava Goswami, please be merciful to me this one time. Do you have a microphone?
You can speak loud though.
Okay, you are the savior. Pardon? You are the savior of the fallen. Without you, there is no one. Just by being in your presence, sins go far away. Where can anyone find such kindness? Merely by the touch of the waters of the sacred Ganges, one becomes liberated, even if he's the lowest of mankind. But just by seeing you, the same effect is achieved. Such is your quality. Jai Mahaprabhu ki Jai. If one commits an offense at the feet of Lord Hari, he can be forgiven if he chants the holy name. But if one offends you, there is no salvation for him. In your heart, Govinda is always resting. Sri Govinda himself says, my devotees are my life and soul. I hope that in every birth I will obtain the dust of your lotus feet. Sri Narottam prays, please, O Vaishnava Goswami, be kind to me. Hari Bol. Jai Śrīla Haridās Ṭhākur. Tir Bhav Maha Mahotsav ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaur Chandra Ju ki Jai. Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ju ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajakacarya Astotersita Shri Śrīman Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajakacarya Astotersita Shri Śrīman Śrīla Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Śrī Caitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Vrinda ki Jai. Nāmācārya Śrīla Haridās Ṭhākur ki Jai. Shri Narottam Shyamananda Srinivas Thakur Prabhu ki Jai. Sad Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Saparshad Śrīman Mahāprabhu ki Jai. Saparshad Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Jai Śrī Caitanya Saraswat Mat ki Jai. Tadir Shaka Mat ki Jai. Śrī Caitanya Saraswat Mission ki Jai. Kol Kartal ki
Jai.
Hari Nam
Ki
Jai.
Samaveda Vaishnava Mandala ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Bhakta Vrinda, all the devotees ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol.
Jai Śrīmatī Śrī Lekhā
Jai
Dīdī.
Gurudev ki Jai. Hari Bol.
Bhima Krishna Prabhu says, Śrīla Haridās Ṭhākur ki
Jai.
Dandavad devotees. Happy to see Kṛṣṇānanda Prabhu back in Salt Lake City.
Jai. We all are, but you know, it's short-lived.
Always too short. Shanta Didi is offering her Dandavat also. And Kyo has a question. Do you want to answer a question?
Well, we should tell his questions because otherwise I have to answer them. But you asked a question on the voicemail, but I couldn't quite catch it. I couldn't understand it. But then I think you're asking if Bali Maharaj has something to do with Indonesia, and I really don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, that's the question that he.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. All right, Dandavad.
Dandavad.
Devotees. Hari Bol.